This is Dr. Jadhav. Welcome you all to my YouTube channel The Guide Worldwide. We are going to give you videos on significant things related to accountancy, commerce, management, financial freedom, personal finance and investment, social issues, universal values, peace and happiness. So let us begin with today's topic: amalgamation, absorption and external reconstruction. What is inside in it? The first we are going to study what do we mean by amalgamation, the meaning of transferor and transferee company, types and accounting methods of amalgamation, distinguish between amalgamation, absorption and external reconstruction, purchase consideration and its method, accounting procedure in the books of transferor company on the basis of purchase method, and accounting procedure in the books of transferee company on the basis of purchase method. What do you mean by amalgamation? Amalgamation of companies is a process of integration of two or more companies into a new company, or transfer of business to an existing company against consideration in form of cash or kinds. As per Accounting Standard 14 issued by ICAI, amalgamation means an amalgamation pursuant to the provisions of Companies Act or by other statute which may be applicable to the company. The company which closes its books and business and transfer it to the purchasing company is called as transferor company, whereas the company which takes over the business of selling and vendor company is called as transferee company. Types of amalgamation. There are two types of amalgamation: amalgamation in the nature of merger and amalgamation in the nature of purchase. There are two methods of accounting for amalgamation. The first one is pooling of interest method and the next one is purchase or realization method. So we are going to study the accounting procedure based on purchase or realization method. Now, what is the difference between amalgamation, absorption and external reconstruction? The first point is meaning. When two or more companies are winding up to form a new company, the process is called as amalgamation. When one company takes over other companies, the process is called as absorption. And when existing company goes into liquidation for the purpose of selling its business to the newly formed company, the process is called as external reconstruction. In case of amalgamation, the action is voluntary. In case of absorption, the action may be voluntary or hostile. However, in case of external reconstruction, the action is expected or it is compulsory. The next point is nature of business of companies involved in the process. In case of amalgamation, the companies involved nature of business is similar or correlated or related. In case of absorption, they are showing similar nature of companies, and in case of external reconstruction also the nature of business of companies involved is similar. Next point is creation of a new company. In case of amalgamation, yes, there is a creation of a new company. In case of absorption, no new company is created. The existing company carrying forward the business of the companies took over. And in case of external reconstruction, yes, there is a creation of a new company. The last point is number of companies liquidated. In case of amalgamation, minimum 2 companies are liquidating. In case of absorption, one or more company may be liquidating. And in case of external reconstruction, only one company is liquidating. Now let us begin with accounting procedure in the books of transferor company. The step number 1, purchase consideration. Before calculating purchase consideration, let us understand its meaning. What is purchase consideration? In simple word, it is the value agreed upon for the net asset taken over. As per accounting standard 14, purchase consideration is defined as the aggregate of shares and other securities issued, the payment made in form of cash or other assets by the transferee company to the shareholders of transferor company. There are four methods of calculation of purchase consideration. The first one is net asset method, next is net payment method, then lump sum method, and the last one is intrinsic value or share exchange ratio method. Now let us see how to calculate purchase consideration as per each of the method. When we are talking about net asset method, the calculation of purchase consideration is simple. The formula is all assets taken over at agreed value less all liabilities taken over at agreed value. In case of net payment method, you have to add all modes of payment you have received, that is equity shares in transferee company, preference shares in transferee company, debentures in transferee company, cash bank received from transferee company, or any other asset received from transferee company. The addition of all these will give you the amount of purchase consideration. In case of lump sum method, there is no calculation. Lump sum amount is paid at once only. In case of intrinsic value or share exchange ratio method, it is given in the ratio of shares held and shares issued. You can calculate intrinsic value per share with a formula. Intrinsic value is equal to equity shareholders fund or the funds available to equity shareholders divided by number of shares. Secondly, you have to open accounts like realization account, equity shareholders account, preference shareholders account, transferee companies account, equity shares in transferee companies account, then preference shares in transferee companies account, debentures in transferee companies account, cash bank account, and any other account if necessary. Step number 3 is transfer step. First of all, you need to transfer equity share capital to the credit side of equity shareholders account. The accounting journal entry will be equity share capital account debit to equity shareholders account. Then transfer preference share capital to the credit side of preference shareholders. Journal entry will be preference share capital account debit to preference shareholders account. Then transfer reserves and surpluses to credit side of equity shareholders account. The journal entry will be reserves and surplus account debit to equity shareholders account. Transfer all liabilities to the credit side of realization account. Journal entry will be liabilities account debit to realization account. Transfer all assets to the debit side of realization account. Now here the journal entry will be realization account debit to assets account. Transfer accumulated losses to equity shareholders account debit side. The journal entry will be equity shareholders account debit to accumulated losses. Next step is purchase consideration due and purchase consideration received. When purchase consideration due, the journal entry will be transferee company's account debit to realization account. Here transferee company account is debited because the purchase consideration is receivable from transferee company account. In case of purchase consideration received, the journal entry will be all modes of payment which have been received by transferor company from the transferee company, like equity shares in transferee company account debit, preference shares in transferee company account debit, debentures in transferee company account debit, cash bank account debit to transferee company's account. Step number 5, liquidation or realization expenses. Here there are three possibilities. The first one is liquidation or realization expenses paid by transferor company itself. The journal entry will be realization account debit to cash bank account. The second possibility, that liquidation or realization expenses paid by transferee company, then in that case there will not be any entry in the books of transferor company, therefore there is no entry. And the third possibility, that these expenses are paid by transferor company but reimbursed by transferee company. In this case there are two journal entries, first at the payment, and then this payment is received from transferee company. When the payment is made, transferee company account debit to cash bank account, and when there is a reimbursement from transferee company, cash bank account debit to transferee company's account. Step number 6, assets or liabilities not taken over by the transferee company. Then there will be the possibility that it may be sold. So assets sold, journal entry will be cash bank account debit to realization account. If liabilities are paid, journal entry will be realization account debit to cash bank account. Step number 7, payment to preference shareholders claim. Preference shareholders claim includes preference share capital and accrued preference dividend if any. If this claim is paid, then preference shareholders are the receiver, therefore preference shareholders account debit to cash account, to equity share in transferee company account, to preference shares in transferee company account, to debentures in transferee company account. Important note to be remembered, if any balance in preference shareholders account after making the payment, then it should be transferred to realization account. Step number 8, last step, closing step. First of all, you need to close realization account. Either there will be profit, then it should be transferred to the credit side of equity shareholders account, or there will be loss, then it should be transferred to the debit side of equity shareholders account. The journal entry in case of profit, the realization account debit to equity shareholders account. In case of loss, the journal entry will be equity shareholders account debit to realization account. Then you have to close all other accounts and transfer their balances to equity shareholders account. And lastly, you have to close equity shareholders account and it should get tallies. Now let us go ahead and see the accounting procedure in the books of transferee company. There are 5 to 6 important transactions. The first transaction is purchase of business. The journal entry of it, business comes in, therefore business purchase account debit, and liquidators of transferor company are the givers, therefore the journal entry will be business purchase account debit to liquidator of transferor company account. The second step is recording assets and liabilities taken over. All assets received, therefore all assets account debit. Liabilities always shows credit balance, therefore liabilities account credit to business purchase. Now if there is a lesser balance, if there is a lesser debit balance, it should be debited to goodwill account. If there is a lesser credit balance, it should be credited to capital reserve account. So our journal entry to record assets and liabilities is assets account debit, goodwill account debit balancing figure, to liabilities, to business purchase account, to capital reserve account balancing figure if any. Transaction number 3, payment of purchase consideration. This payment we are making to the liquidator of transferor company account, therefore liquidator of transferor company account debit to equity share capital, to preference share capital account, to debentures account, to cash bank account. Here you have to remember that if shares or debentures are issued at premium, then securities premium account should be credited in above entry, and if the shares or debentures are issued at discount, then discount on issue of shares or discount on issue of debentures should be debited in above entry. Step number 4. Payment to debenture holders of transferor company after taking over. Then debenture holders will be the receiver. Therefore, debenture holders of transferor company account debit to equity share capital, to preference share capital, to new debentures, to cash bank account. You can pass one more entry for the amount due or amount transferred to shareholders, like shareholders debentures account debit to debenture holders account, and then you can pass this entry. So important note to be remember is, if the shares or debentures are issued at premium, then securities premium account should be credited in above entry, and if the shares or debentures are issued at discount, then discount on issue of shares or discount on issue of debenture should be debited in above entry. Step number 5. Recording statutory reserves. We need to understand what is statutory reserve. Statutory reserves are the reserves and surplus created as per the provisions of any act or law. Now, the journal entry we have to remember. Before that, the examples of statutory reserves are export profit reserves account, foreign project reserve account, development rebate reserve account, investment allowance reserve account. The journal entry for it is amalgamation adjustment account debit to statutory reserves account. Step number 6. Payment of liquidation or realization expenses of transferor company. The journal entry will be goodwill account debit to cash bank account. And the last step, number 7, intercompany debt or transaction. Now, intercompany debts arises due to credit transaction between transferor and transferee company, or acceptance of bill and drawing of bill by transferor or transferee company. In this case, suppose the amount included in debtor or creditor, the effects will be less from debtors on the asset side from the balance sheet and less from creditors on the liability side from the balance sheet. If the amount is included in bills receivable and bills payable, again you have to deduct such amount from bills receivable and also deduct such amount from bills payable. In case if the goods are sold at profit by transferor company is included in the unsold stock of transferee company, then first of all you need to find out unrealized profit in the stock, and then you have to deduct that unrealized profit from closing stock, and also you need to deduct that unrealized profit from current year's profit. And finally, you need to prepare the balance sheet on the basis of old balance sheet of transferee company and on the basis of journal entries of amalgamation process in the books of transferee company. Thank you all. Please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon. Happy learning to you all.